Hey guys, what is up? It's Card Shuffler 99 here today, and we are revealing Dan White's trick that he performed on Jimmy Fallon very recently, a day or two ago. So before that, make sure you check out all of our social media in the description below. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification button so the second we post, you guys can check us out. Also, there will be a link in the description for free my apps. Click that link, download free apps, and you guys can get free gift cards like Amazon or iTunes gift cards. Now, speaking of gift cards, we have a giveaway for 50,000 subscribers. We are giving away $50 in Amazon gift cards. So you guys want to enter that contest, we will have a link in the description below. So you guys can click that link and watch the official contest video so you guys can enter. So anyways, let's get into the reveal. And we are actually doing the trick the exact same way Dan White did it. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so like Robert said, there are multiple versions of the same trick. One of them is known as Jeopardy. And a lot of people, have been saying, have been teaching this trick as Jeopardy, even though it's a slight bit different. So we are doing this exact reveal the same exact way he did it, including the same exact numbers and everything that he's using. So let's get into this reveal. Now, the first thing we have to do, despite talking about, any of this, one thing you need to know is that he's going to be using a setup deck of cards. Now, one of the first things I think you guys are going to be thinking is that, well, he shuffled the deck of cards, so how could it be set up? Well, before I talk about how it's set up, let me explain, why this is happening. The deck that he shuffled and everything, before the trick started, is not actually the deck he's going to be using. Something I commonly say throughout all Magic reveals is that everything happens for a reason. So, all the 52 factorial stuff and everything, what honestly does that have anything to do with his card trick? It has nothing to do with it. The reason he's doing this is to buy time for him to do a deck switch. You'll notice the camera even zooms in on the piece of paper with the number, which allows him to easily do a deck switch. So he's very, very quick about it, obviously, and he's going to do a deck switch for a setup deck of cards. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about exactly how this is going to work. So, like I said, you will use the same setup, 17 face down cards, 12 black cards, 6 spade cards, and then all the red cards are hearts, and then the 3 of diamonds, which he used Instagram for. So that's how you're going to write it down, obviously. Now, what you're going to do for the setup is you're going to take 6 clubs, 6 spades. Okay, so notice that this is going to be 12 black cards, and then you're going to have 6 spades and then 6 clubs. Then you're going to have 4 hearts and 1 diamond, obviously, which is going to be the 3 of diamonds, which is the very last reveal. So once again, all red cards are hearts and then 3 of diamonds, okay? So you will have the 3 diamonds there. Now, once you have all these cards here, you can shuffle them around. It doesn't matter what the order is of these cards as long as you have them all here. But all these cards will add up to 17 cards, so just keep that in mind. Now, what he's going to do is he's going to take this, basically this is once he switches it out, he'll either have a break or some sort of way to basically cut to this first packet of cards. And this setup is going to go right on top of the deck, and every other card is completely different. Now, he could have done anything here. He could have put a crimp in the cards. It could have been his pocket like this. He could have done anything, honestly, as long as he has a break, basically, wherever he needs the break to be. So, if you guys want to track this for yourself, his setup packet of cards is going to be on the top. So the very first packet he sets down is going to be the setup packet if you want to follow that throughout his performance. So, what you're going to do is he's going to take this out and he's going to split it into 3 packets. Once again, his setup packet's going to go down first, and then the 2 other packets. Now, he asked Jimmy, which 2 packets do you want to shuffle together? Jimmy says these 2 packets here, which are the 2 packets that are not the setup packet, okay? So this allows him to basically shuffle these 2 cards, or these 2 packets, face down into face down. Now, one thing you need to understand about this trick is that these cards are always going to be shuffled in the opposite orientation as these cards, okay? So let me address this a little bit more. If these cards are face up, he's going to shuffle the setup packet into face down cards. He's never going to put face up with face up because all these cards are always going to stay in the opposite direction of the rest of the cards. So, like I said, Jimmy selects these 2 packets to be shuffled together. So you can shuffle these 2 face down. Like I said, these 2 packets have to stay in the same orientation the entire time. Now, let's say Jimmy selected these 2 packets right here, or these 2, doesn't matter. He would basically what Dan White would do is he would say, which one do you want to flip over? Okay, so let's say it was these 2. I'll address this really quick. And one thing you need to understand is that Dan White has to follow the orientation of these cards the entire time. or the setup cards. So in this case, what he would have to do is flip one of these packets face up, it doesn't matter which one, and then shuffle them together. Now, like I said, these cards are always going to be in the opposite direction of this, so once these are shuffled together, then he would have to shuffle these cards in the same orientation as these cards. It's a little hard to explain, so I'm just going to, I hope if that didn't make any sense, the fact that the setup cards are always shuffled in the opposite direction as the rest of the cards, then it'll make more sense as we go along. But let me just do exactly what Jimmy did and Dan White did. So first he takes the two random decks of cards, he shuffles these together. Then what he's going to do is he's going to say, all right, which one do you want to flip over? So let's say, he says, let's flip over this one. It doesn't matter which one they flip over, obviously, because as long as these cards are shuffled in the opposite direction as these, you're good to go. So it doesn't matter which one he flips over. Let's say he flips over this one, then you shuffle them together. If you flip over this one, then you shuffle those together. So let's just flip these over, and then we can shuffle these together, obviously, just like that. So now, like I said, you need to keep in mind that right now all the setup cards are face down, okay? And that's something that Dan White's going to need to know for the entire trick. From here, what he's going to do, he's going to say, all right, Jimmy, what I want you to do is split the deck somewhere in half. So it doesn't matter where he splits it in half, okay? And Jimmy's going to set down his packet to the side. One thing you need to know, like I said, you're going to need to split this packet anywhere you want, okay? But you need to keep in mind the orientation of the cards. So right now, all of the setup cards are facing down and all the other cards are facing up, okay? So he splits the cards just like this. Now, what Dan White does secretly with his packet is he actually flips it over. That's the secret right there, is that Dan White's actually just going to do a risk kill and actually flip these cards over and, hidden from the camera. So you could even see this happening on camera. So he's going to take his packet, flip it over, okay? Now what he's going to do, keep in mind that these cards are now in opposite direction of these. So what he does is he says, all right, take about half, and flip them over, okay? And basically put them on opposite piles. What this does, it now flips these cards over, so now these cards are now in the same direction as this, and these cards are now in the same direction of that. So keep in mind that, when he flips one of the packets over, he's changing the orientation, but now that he takes part of this deck, flips it over here, and part of this deck flips it over there, all the cards are now in the same exact direction, basically, and are about to be at least. So all these cards are basically in the same direction, okay? And all of these cards are in the same direction, okay? Now, what you're going to do here is you're going to take either packet and flip it face up. It doesn't matter which one you do at this point. Just flip, either packet face up or face down, doesn't matter. So let's say we did this one right here. From there, you would shuffle these two together. Now, like I said, this is now putting the decks back in the same orientation because originally, like I said, when he split it into two packets, he flipped one over. So now, doing this, flipping either one over is now going to put these two in the same direction, or flipping this over will put these two in the same direction. So if that makes any sense there, so he's going to flip either one over. It doesn't matter which one he does. Shuffle that together. Doesn't matter how he does it. Now, keeping in mind which orientation, all the cards are in, he's going to know exactly which way the cards are facing. So in this case, I know that this is not the orientation. This is obviously more than 12 face down cards. So he's going to have to do a risk kill in this situation, flip it over, and basically do this. Now, obviously, if Jimmy had done it the other way around, then the face down cards would be in the right orientation. So at this point, like I said, all the cards have been shuffled in the right orientation. All the setup cards are face down, and all the other cards are face up. So let's go back to this. 17 face down. Let's go. Let's try to count. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There you go, 17 face down cards. And these are the exact face down cards that were in my original setup, okay? Now you can move on. You could say, all right, 12 of these cards are black. So you can go through, you want to split up the black cards from the red cards, you can do that. It doesn't matter how you present this, obviously. Right there. So bam, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. 6 of them are going to be spades. Okay, 6 of these are going to be spades. Spade, club, club, spade, spade, club, spade, club, club, club. Right there, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spades. Perfect. Once again, these are all the setup cards, basically. Now, all the red cards are hearts. Heart, 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 diamond? Heart. And this is basically where he sort of screwed up, I guess you could say. And then he went on Instagram and he showed the 3 of diamonds on his shirt, which is the only odd out card. So guys, I hope this tutorial made any sense. Just keep in mind, if you want to follow the performance, his top packet, or the very first packet he set down when he split it into 3 packets from the beginning of the trick, the very first packet he sets down is his setup packet. And really all that's happening throughout the trick is that his setup packet is getting shuffled in the opposite direction of any other packet. Okay? So I hope you understand that. You know, obviously this is a pretty complicated trick to follow. It was pretty difficult for us to put together. But anyway, if you guys are slightly confused on anything, just try to watch it back or comment down below and we'll try to clear things up for you guys. But that is it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out.